And when you talk about using AI and how that kind of allowed for a faster or making this possible when maybe it wasn't a couple of years ago, I think that makes sense to me on the speed side of things. But I think the knock on AI is obviously the probabilistic nature, the chance of hallucination. So I know you mentioned human in the loop, but are there other elements that you guys kind of bake in to make sure that we're not hallucinating or we're not having surprises down in the payroll stack?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, in our last company, Harvest, back in 2018, we built our own LLM engine because there's no foundational models available at that time. We're like a data labeling team that are continuously refining that model to get to like 95, 96%. In this industry, that's not even enough, right? You have to get it 99.999% accurate. So if you use like a Claude or some other, some other foundational model, maybe it'll get you to like 60, 65%, but there's the last, 30% you really have to build internally and refine it. So we built our own models, right? We obviously rely on external models as well to give us like notifications and all these other things. So, and we validate, across like many different things to make sure that that is the correct one to put it into our system. So there are lots of checks and balances that, our AI was able to help us build internally our own models, as well as, there are human in the loop, for last 5%, because you have to do that to make sure that not only we do it ourselves, but we also work with consultants, consulting firms like accounting firms, to make sure that that is the right interpretation of some of those tax law changes before they get into the production, right? And that is really, really needed in this day and age, even with the open AIs and the clouds of the world, because the last 5% makes a huge difference in terms of the tax calculations for payroll.